all right, I can do that.
Yes.
I walked out, the lights go up, I went to say something, and just these 100 people just applauded. And I was so touched by it. Maybe those 100 people remembered what I did in the last comp type thing, and I just felt so at home. And I thought, yeah, let's have some fun with this. And don't get me wrong, it took me a while to learn, but you learn by your mistakes. And yeah, I ended up doing it for 9 years, and not just Roadhouse, across the world as well. And it was my path to stay involved, stay relevant, if you will.
Yeah.
And it is, and I loved it. And to be a fan with the mic, because I love it. Because let's be honest, previous hosts,
didn't give a shit. Dean Martin didn't care,
but absolute pro. He's a radio DJ,
very
pro
good.
with a microphone. Didn't care about the flair. The chap the year before me got so drunk that he couldn't announce.
Who
the
was
winners.
that?
It was Jason, right? Jason.
Yeah, Jason.
He was a Roadhouse bartender. He was just like, so I do this and this is free? Oh, brilliant. Couldn't announce the winners. So it's like, right, okay, so let's try and meet this in the middle here. So I'm genuinely excited about what's happening on stage. And yeah, and then all of a sudden it's like, right, do you want to come and host in Moscow? Do you want to come and host in Shanghai? And Dubai, Monaco.
What was the some of the most memorable moments as a host?
Yours at the end, we'll finish with that. That's number one by far. What else? Oh, you put me on the spot now.
I meant there was one time, didn't I ask you to, maybe was it you? I asked you to introduce me when there was another host there or something. I don't know. I can't remember.
I didn't. I think a few lads that year. A few of the lads said, "Can you die?" I said, "No, that can't happen."
What about Bacardi Pro Flair? I mean, that was
scary. That was really scary.
In Russia.
Yeah, because I haven't been doing it long. And all of a sudden, like we said, I think there was at least 1,000 people in that audience with cameras. Like, I'm talking, and then I turn around the big screen, and there's my mush. I'm like, oh, no, focus, And then also, I co-hosted with an MTV presenter, so it's just like him, me.
Yeah.
And it was just like, right, I need to get a report of this guy as quickly as possible.
Yeah.
It was great fun. Again, look, I mean, my first Sky Global Challenge, I introduced Mike McLean as the inventor of the Flair Cup. And as I'm doing this to an audience, he's there going, no, I'm not. What are you talking? I'm like, you're not? Like, oh, let's just have a conversation. Fuck the audience. Sorry about that.
So, I know you used to hate it when you were saying something and I was organising, you were hosting. I'm like, no, Stretch, it's not that. And you're like, when I'm fucking hosting, don't talk to me like this. It's like, I can't listen to two things at once.
Yeah. How pro with an earpiece? I have done it with an earpiece before, and that was interesting.
The best one, sorry, you know what I'm going to say, was you were introduced in a competition with
there's a few of them.
three judges, and you said, okay, give it up for Andy Collinson, yeah. Give it up for Sally Circa, yeah. And then you didn't know the next person's last name, which was Tom Sipos. And you go, give it up for Tom. Woo!
That was Athens, yeah.
That was Athens.
And this is Tom.
Woo! The funny thing is that because we know each other, when you make a mistake or when you make a joke, I'm definitely the person who's going to get it first.
Yeah.
And I knew when you did that, I'm like, doesn't know his second name. Does not know his second name.
But also, I think the key to it is that you've got to be able to laugh at yourself.
Yeah, for sure.
And if you don't take yourself too seriously, if you do, then it's game over because people are going to rile you up and get under your skin. The other, Pedro, bless him, so I'll give this big intro to Andy and a big intro to Tony Adams. And our third judge, Tom Dyer's mate, Pedro. and a poor guy, he found the funny side of it. I was just like, fuck, I didn't ask Pedro what he does. You're Tom, mate.
Tom Dyer's mate.
And then the other thing I went to, and I could call it arrogant, whatever, but I never use a clipboard. And things like that. So people didn't know, but if it was a new name I wasn't sure, I couldn't remember the top of my head, I'd have it written down on a Bevnap.
Yeah.
So at the end, as I introduce them, I'll grab that Bevnap, say the name, give it a little wipe and walk off so no one knows.
Yeah.
But then there's the other thing. So like Jay, when Jay was organising, he'd have the rundown on his clipboard of everything that's happening. He'd go like, "Have you read it? Have you read everything?" I was like, "Yeah, you read it." I was like, "Yeah, Jay, I've read it." And he goes, "Your clipboard, open it. There's a paragraph going, Steve, you never read this. You're a fucking dickhead. Blah 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 blah. Read the thing." And I went, "Oh yeah, I didn't read it." And then Ollie would just put the most like Joe
Oliver
Blocks, organiser. I worked under so many organisers, you know. But Ollie would put so-and-so bartender and who they're representing, but it would just be like bananas
in pajamas.
In pajamas.com. I'd say it, and it's like, I'm Ron Burgundy.
Yeah, go fuck yourself, San Diego.
And I'd read it, and I was like, Ollie, stop fucking with me. And it's like, but they're the fun things. Not for the guy that I was introducing.
Oh, man.
But thoroughly enjoyed it. And it was just like, I saw myself as like, I'm the glue. I've got, keep it all together. I cared massively about the audience and making sure people have fun, especially the non-Flair fans, because at the beginning of the Roadhouse, you get, a percentage of people that just come in for a drink, like, what's going on here? So
Yeah.
I've got to play with them.
Yeah.
And that type of thing. It was...
That was one thing that you did well, and when I tried to host myself, and I always thought about what you used to do, and introducing the people and everything is easy. That's easy. Introducing people, doing the countdown, everything else, there's a way that people can do it, but it's easy. But it's in between the competitors, the flirting with the chicks or the guys or whatever, talking to the bartenders, which definitely made your time as an MC much more enjoyable, because it wasn't downtime. Normally now you're like, okay, and that was John. And then there's like a gap, and then there's nothing, and then right, next person up on stage is Tom, woo, and then there's downtime. But you didn't fill that whole gap, but you definitely made the ending a bit of
and choosing that time well. So instead of like, right, you're ready, okay, now I'm going to go and do 2 minutes of talking to people or giving t-shirts away, where I should be doing that 2 minutes before the guys come in. But that's a gamble, because you've got to say that, guy, right, you've got 2 minutes, because I'm about to go and do this, and by the time I'm finished, I need you ready. Where if that's TV, but you've got 3 people with this going, okay, right, he's going to finish in a second, right, you go, that was me, I had to do it all. It was difficult. And the other thing that really grabbed my gears was some people that, let's just put this politely, were entering competitions that were nowhere near the level to enter a competition yet. And to commentate on that, like, you don't watch a football commentator or a gymnast commentator in the Olympics going, oh, he tried, oh, bless him, oh, it's not good, so I'm not going to say it is. And I've got organisers going, say something good, say something. I'm like, what? Like, what can I say? Well, some idiot that's drunk and takes his shirt off and,
pisses on the floor, pisses in a cup and drinks it.
I wasn't there for that.
Which happened.
That didn't happen at Roadhouse.
What about the guy who worked at Roadhouse one time, and he made his drink in a shoe, first of all. This is like when it was more professional, because Terry Barnes did it many, many years ago. He's like, he did his routine, it was terrible. Unfortunately. And I'm going to tell you who the guy was. He nicknamed himself Domino.
Right.
Remember the guy?
No.
Anyway, he worked at Roadhouse. He had some decent flair, but his routine wasn't very good. He made his drink in a shoe, and then basically just kind of went, what? Like that. Jumped off the stage and walked off, and everyone was like...
You was like tumbleweeds.
What? What's going on? Like that. DJ, like this.
There's a compay, there's nothing I can say. Like, what? Move on.
Yeah.
So
do you think that it is in some ways that's the fault of the organizer and the competitions allowing these people who aren't prepared to come up on stage? Do you think it's detrimental to